to legends arisen, where history breathes and greatness echoes through time. Today, we talk about a man who ruled the greatest empire on earth, not with fear, but with wisdom. A warrior of the mind, a master of self, Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius was not simply born into power, he was shaped by responsibility. As a young man, he was adopted into the imperial family, not as a prize, but as preparation for something greater. When he rose to become emperor of Rome, he did so at a time of deep uncertainty. His reign was not marked by peace, but by trial. Wars raged on the frontiers. A deadly plague swept through the cities. The Senate wavered. The people looked to their ruler not just for orders, but for hope. Marcus didn't wear the crown as a symbol of dominance, but as a weight he was willing to bear for the good of all. While others chased power for luxury, Marcus sought wisdom. As a boy, he read Epictetus. As a man, he wrote not for fame, but for clarity. The Meditations, now considered a cornerstone of Stoic thought, were never meant to be published. They were private reflections, conversations with himself in the dead of night. In them, he questioned his desires, reminded himself of duty, and cultivated the courage to lead with humility. "You have power over your mind," he wrote, "not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He ruled the greatest empire in the world, yet chose to live like a student of virtue. The fiercest battles Marcus Aurelius ever fought were within his own mind. He grappled with sorrow, pride, doubt. He lost children. He lost friends. He witnessed betrayal, plague, and war. And still, he stood steady. His writings reveal a man striving not to be perfect, but to be principled. Every morning he reminded himself, "Today, you will meet people who are rude, selfish, deceitful." And still, he chose kindness. He chose composure. To Marcus, the enemy wasn't just outside the gates. It was in the whispers of ego, the tug of fear, the temptation to give in. And day after day, he stood guard at the gates of his own mind. When Rome suffered, Marcus did not retreat. He stayed in the heart of the city during the Antonine Plague. He addressed his people with calm resolve, never yielding to panic. When generals turned against him, he met their treachery not with vengeance, but with justice. He once pardoned a man who tried to usurp his throne. "The best revenge," he said, "is to be unlike him who performed the injury." His actions weren't just guided by strategy, but by moral clarity. He believed that leadership was not about control, but about character. Even in turmoil, he held to principle like a captain to the helm in a storm. Few lives carried the quiet weight of grief like his. Marcus Aurelius buried multiple children during his reign. He wrote of pain with such tenderness that even today it pierces the heart. Do not be ashamed of being helped. But if you have the strength, help others. His loss did not make him bitter. It made him wiser. In the face of suffering, he taught himself to endure, to reflect, to act justly. He did not seek to escape sorrow, but to transform it, to make it useful. "If it is endurable, then endure it," he reminded himself. "If not, then stop complaining." Amid collapsing alliances and waning health, Marcus found strength not in armies, but in awareness. He believed the mind could be a fortress, calm, unshakable, free. "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," he wrote. And so he guarded his thoughts, trained them, refused to let circumstance dictate his peace. Even as the world around him grew uncertain, his inner world remained clear. He built a kingdom within, untouched by time or decay, one that centuries later still speaks to us. 18 centuries have passed, and still, his voice endures. You'll find it in the journals of entrepreneurs, in the quiet discipline of soldiers, in the wisdom shared by therapists. His philosophy bridges worlds, guiding leaders, creators, and seekers of truth. What he wrote in candlelight now glows on phone screens and shelves. He didn't seek followers, yet millions follow his words, not because he ruled Rome, but because he ruled himself. Marcus Aurelius was a man of contradictions, an emperor who humbled himself daily, a warrior who prized peace, a father who endured heartbreak. But through every challenge, he returned to one ideal: to be a good man. Not perfect, not praised, just good. That was enough. And in a world still hungry for virtue, that is more powerful than any empire. Let the strength of Marcus Aurelius guide your journey. Like, share, and subscribe to awaken the greatness within you.